The number one issue we get calls about is bearing failures. The number one reason for bearing failures is lack of lubrication. If you've had a bearing fail, or you've had both bearing fails, and you're at the place of needing to replace them, make sure you replace both of your bearings. Don't just replace the one that's failed, replace them both at the same time. If you've had a really bad failure, sometimes your inner race can blow out, the shaft can drop in the bearing housing, and what happens inside can be pretty bad sometimes. Like your wheel can drop, it can make contact with your inlet cone or inlet cylinder, and then you might need to replace all these parts. Inlet cylinder, wheel, shaft, bearings. It can be pretty expensive. When you do put your new bearings in, make sure you align them, grease them, and then trim balance them. I'd set up a schedule for your grease, and then also a last safety check that I would do if you're replacing bearings. Find some way to get temperature detection in here. You can drill and tap the bearings and put an RTD in. Do something so that you don't have a failure again. If you have an RTD in here, it can detect when the bearings are getting hot in the future, and you can make sure that you avoid downtime in the future when you replace them. So in recap, always replace both bearings. If your failure is real bad, you might need to replace more than just the bearings. Could be the shaft, the wheel. Check those items as well. Align your bearings, grease them, and then do a trim balance. And then finally, find some way to detect the temperature in your bearings for the future.